What up, class? Welcome to another episode of Honest Gaming History,
the series where we reveal how truly insane some of these video game plots get.
For today's lecture, we're going back to a time that I never got to truly experience since I never had a PS2.
A time when anthropomorphic animal protagonists were mad popular, and Saturday morning cartoons were still a thing.
Oh man, those were the days. Remember Shaolin Showdown?
Yo, that show was fire! Shaolin Chronicles though, not so much. Anyways, thanks to a lot of freaking requests from all you amazing people, we're covering the master thief and fearless leader of the Cooper gang, Sly Cooper.
Gong Yi Tenpai! Before we start the video, we gotta thank our sponsors over at Ridge. Now, if you didn't know, the Ridge wallet is a light, sleek, and sturdy wallet that holds everything you need in your normal wallet without taking a bunch of space in your pocket. It's got enough room to hold up to 12 cards while still having room for cash. And it comes in 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. And with how durable this thing is, it's guaranteed to serve you for life, so no more buying extra wallets. To give you guys a visual idea of how optimal this is, here is my old, empty but still bulky Black Ranger wallet, and here's my new Ridge wallet filled with all the essentials. Y'all see the difference? So look, take my word for it. The wallet is fire, and with Father's Day coming up, it would make the perfect gift. But if you need even more proof of its litness, just check out the 30K 5-star reviews. And guess what? The Ridge team is so confident you'll like their product that they're willing to give you a 45-day test drive with it, meaning that you can return it for a full refund within that time period. So if this wallet tickles your interest, head on over to ridge.com/don'tchi and use the code don'tchi to get 10% off your purchase, along with free worldwide shipping. With that being said, let's move on to Sly's video. The infamous raccoon Sly Cooper hails from a legendary lineage of top-tier thieves, known as the Cooper clan.
These guys were so good at robbing people, over the years they created a book filled with all their thieving techniques, called the Thievius Raccoonus.
They also followed a strict honor code. They would never use their gift of stealing shit on the innocent, only on fellow thieves, for the challenge.
I mean, no matter which way you put it, it's still stealing. But I guess stealing from a criminal makes it more honorable?
Going back to our main character, young Sly was taught the art of robbing these fools blind by his father Connor Cooper. Like his ancestors before him, he will soon inherit the Thievius Raccoonus to begin his quest to become a master thief.
However, on the night that Sly was supposed to inherit the legendary guidebook, a criminal group known as the Fiendish Five ran up into the Cooper household, murked both of Sly's parents, then found the Thievius Raccoonus and tore it into 5 parts.
Yo, whether it's a movie, an anime, a video game, or whatever, parents are always dying in these backstories. Why do all the parents gotta die, bruh? So after the murder of his parents, Sly gets thrown into an orphanage where he meets his 2 best friends, Bentley and Murray.
Set on living up to his family legacy, Sly forms a gang with his new friends, Bentley being the brains, Murray being the muscle, and Sly being the guy who actually does the stealing.
From the humble beginnings of robbing a cookie jar, the Cooper gang grew over the years. Now, a decade after the death of Sly's parents, these guys are known worldwide as S-Class thieves.
Now it's time for Sly to retrieve his birthright. With him and his gang more experienced now, they're going to take on the Fiendish Five and restore the Thievius Raccoonus.
But to do this, he needs more information on these 5 criminals, so Sly's first target is a police station in Paris to retrieve a police file.
He breaks in, grabs the file, then gets stopped by Inspector Carmelita Fox from Interpol.
So Carmelita is someone that Sly met in Paris a while ago, and she's low-key obsessed with him. Like, it doesn't matter what Sly's doing. If she finds him, she's gonna assume he's being a miscreant and then hunt him down. But Sly thinks she's a bad John, and even though Sly's a thief, Carmelita gets all hot and bothered by the thought of Sly. So even though it looks like Carmelita just wants to arrest Sly, she really wants some of that Cooper dick. So Carmelita's like, rah, 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 you won't get away, Sly. But Sly gets away, cause she ain't really doing shit.
Police file in hand, Sly with the help of his gang use the info to hunt down each Fiendish Five member one by one.
They start with the Looney Tunes frog on crack, Raleigh, then move to the top-heavy bulldog mugshot. Then the southern as fuck alligator, Miss Ruby, then take out the Panda King.
And with each member Sly defeats, he retrieves another part of the Thievius Raccoonus, each part teaching him a new technique invented by one of his ancestors. And since Carmelita's obsessed with him, she arrested each member while following Sly's trail.
But as Sly restored more and more of the guide to robbing people, he kept noticing a shadowy bird figure appear on different pages.
This figure is Clockwork, the leader of the Fiendish Five, hater of the Cooper clan, and last target of Sly and his gang.
The squad pulls up to Clockwork's lair in Russia, and after getting through a bunch of security, Sly finds Carmelita trapped.
She probably got our dumbass here by following Sly.
Sly pulls up to the fox, and she immediately blames him for trapping her here. How though?
Clockwork uses this opportunity to trap Sly and fill the room with poisonous gas. Luckily, the bro Bentley hacks into the owl security and saves both Sly and the Inspector.
Carmelita apologizes for going all crazy and blaming him for trapping her. Then they form a temporary truce to take down Clockwork.
With the aid of the Inspector's jetpack, that she just kinda had, Sly confronts the cyber owl and listens to him go on and on about how he hates the Cooper line.
No, y'all don't understand. This dude Clockwork has been alive for hundreds of years, living off of, and I quote, a steady diet of jealousy and hate. How do you hate a family so much you deny death? So Sly asks Clockwork why he left him alive back then if he hates a Cooper so much. And Clockwork tells him that he wants to prove that a Cooper is nothing without the Thievius Raccoonus.
But the guidebook does not make great thieves. Great thieves make the guidebook. So Sly takes down the hating-ass owl and collects the last piece of his birthright.
But that girl Carmelita pulls up on Sly and gives him the 10-second head start before she starts chasing him again.
So he uses the 10 seconds to get a smooch in and handcuff her to a railing. Then Sly escapes her clutches again.
With the Thievius Raccoonus in hand, Sly revels in the fact that unlike his ancestors, he earned his birthright by taking it back from a bunch of criminals. Now he can lead his team confidently as a master thief.
Later in the first issue of The Adventures of Sly Cooper, Sly breaks into a wedding and steals the Venus de Huelo. Christ, I hope I said that right.
Carmelita's also undercover at the wedding, and as usual, she's onto Sly's schemes.
And as usual, Sly finesses her and escapes with his loot.
2 years after Clockwork's defeat, in Sly 2 Band of Thieves, Sly and the gang find out that Clockwork's parts have been salvaged and are being held at the Museum of Natural History in Cairo.
These parts are said to be restored, and y'all know the Cooper gang can't have that. So they head over to Egypt to ransack the museum and destroy the Clockwork pieces.
Obviously, Sly isn't trying to give Clockwork any chances to return.
The Cooper gang successfully breaks into the museum, but the pieces are gone.
Crazy-ass Carmelita shows up blaming Sly for stealing the parts, but this time she's accompanied by a new character, Constable Neela.
Neela sucks up for Sly and says that the method of entry along with the guard casualties pointed as being a claw gang job. Thank you, Neela. Someone had to tell this fox to chill the hell out.
Carmelita reprimands the constable for speaking up, which leads to an argument that Sly uses as a distraction to escape. Then Carmelita gets left looking stupid again.
Using Neela's oddly suspicious lead about the claw gang, Sly and the boys head to Paris to confront Dimitri, a forger using Clockwork's tail feathers to print counterfeit money.
During the heist, Sly runs into none other than the mysterious constable Neela.
She makes it known that she gave Sly the claw tip on purpose, because unlike dumbass Carmelita, Neela understands that Clockwork is a problem that needs to stay gone.
So they form a secret truce without Carmelita knowing. If she did, she'd probably arrest Neela for talking to her man. Then later, Sly beats dog shit out Dimitri, then takes the tail feathers. And Carmelita arrests a claw gang member since Sly just left them for her. Yo, when you really think about it, Sly's the one getting all of Carmelita's arrests. Like, all Carmelita is doing is chasing after Sly and arresting whoever he leaves for her. Yo, how has she not been fired yet? She said trash at her job. So after the tail feather heist, the Cooper gang tracks the wings of Clockwork to Rajan, an illegal spy seller in India.
The gang does their thing, then Sly uses Neela to trick Carmelita into dancing with him. Unaware that this is Sly, the dancers use a distraction for Murray to get the Clockwork wings.
Once Carmelita realizes that the person she was dancing with was Sly, she gets tight and starts arresting everyone. But not Sly because he dips, and not Rajan either because he escapes to his spice temple.
Later they find out that Rajan also has the heart of Clockwork. He's using it to increase his illegal spice production. How is that dangerous?
Regardless of Rajan's seemingly harmless plan, Sly and the gang head over to the dude's hideout.
Neela shows up, and instead of helping the team, she betrays the Cooper gang by trapping both Sly and Murray after they took down Rajan and got half of the Clockwork heart.
And she throws her supposed partner under the bus by telling the Contessa, a warden working for Interpol, that Carmelita has been failing at the Sly chase because she's working with the gang. I mean, to be real, even without Neela's lying, it's pretty hard not to assume that Carmelita is working with Sly's gang. Think about it. Out of everyone in Interpol, Carmelita is the one who's seen Sly the most. Yet, whenever they catch each other, she always fails to arrest him. Now, we know it's because she's thirsting hard for Sly and she's low-key trash at her job. But when Neela put a picture of her and Sly dancing, it gets pretty hard to defend her.
So Sly, Murray, and Carmelita get arrested by the Constable and the Contessa. Luckily, the forgotten mutant ninja turtle, Bentley, is still free to carry out a rescue mission.
Scared shitless because this is his first solo mission, Bentley swallows his fears, learns how to drive stick shift, then moves to the Contessa's prison.
On the rescue mission, Bentley discovers that the Contessa is secretly a Claw gang member. The criminal rehabilitation clinic she runs is just a front. She secretly uses her hypnosis to find out where criminals hide their loot.
Bentley eventually saves Sly. Then they work together to cure Murray of his hypnosis, and they break him out too.
So the Contessa dips before the Cooper gang uses the chance to jump her, but the gang ain't even worried about it. They just happen to be together again and not in jail.
After taking a long break, they continue on their hunt for the Clockwork parts, and find out that the Contessa is holding Clockwork's eyes. She's keeping them in her castle to enhance her hypnosis. Sly can't have this spider bitch hypnotizing more people, so he and the gang break into her estate to do what they do best.
But Neela has become aware of the Contessa's betrayal, so she's on her way there too with an army of mercenaries.
Wait, an army of mercenaries? The hell is she gonna do with an army of mercenaries? The Contessa is one person. That's overkill, bruh.
I mean, what can I say? Hypnosis is some dangerous shit. So Sly breaks in and finds his girl Carmelita fighting against the hypnotic effects of the Clockwork eyes.
Against Bentley's wishes, he saves the inspector. Then he goes for the eyes and takes down the spider lady.
Afterwards, Neela arrests a Contessa and gets promoted to captain. Then Carmelita, still a fugitive thanks to Neela, teams up with the Cooper gang to escape.
Next, they go after their new target, Jean Bisson, the holder of the stomach and lungs of Clockwork. He's using the parts to power his trade so they can carry spices all over North America.
Yeah, once again, I know these are illegal spices, but still don't see what makes them so dangerous.
The gang then heads to Canada, robs the train of their Clockwork parts, then shuts down the whole spice train operation.
However, our girl Carmelita is still running away from the cops after getting framed.
So Sly, being the nice raccoon that he is brainstorming a way to clear her name without turning himself in. But we'll worry about that later. We still gotta collect these clockwork parts.
The gang tracks Jean Bassan to a lumber camp where it's revealed that he's using the clockwork claws to cut down trees in the area.
For the environment, the gang slaps the shit out of Jean. But it turns out he sold both his and the Cooper gang's clockwork parts to the leader of the Claw gang, Arpeggio.
Sly and his cohorts get to Arpeggio, and it's revealed that he's been working with Neela all this time.
Arpeggio and Neela allow Sly to steal the parts from the other Claw members. The gang leader plans on using the parts to attain immortality, but the parts are only half of the equation.
To truly gain Clockwork's immortality, Arpeggio needs a steady diet of hatred, just like Clockwork did.
Wait, the living off of hatred thing is canon? I thought that was a joke. Bruh, that shit makes no sense. So y'all remember those illegal spices, right? They make people more susceptible to hypnosis. And thanks to the members of the Claw gang, these spices have been consumed by a pretty big population. This man Arpeggio wants to use flashing lights to hypnotize the people of Paris into feeling immense hate. Then he will use said hate to fuel his immortality. Bruh, how are you so screwed up that you ruin a bunch of people's lives just for your own immortality? And you're not even gonna do anything with it. This bird is evil.
But then Neela betrays Arpeggio, saying that she betrayed Interpol and the Cooper gang. What made him think he was safe in the betrayal train?
I mean, she has a point.
Then Neela enters the clockwork frame made out of his parts, kills Arpeggio, and introduces herself as Clocklaw.
With the help of his gang and Carmelita, who once again is temporarily siding with Sly, they knock the Owl Megazord down, but it's not out yet.
Bentley remembers something about a hate chip, which he deduces to be the source of Clocklaw's power. So he pulls it out of her, but her beak crushes him in the process, thus completely paralyzing his lower half.
With Clocklaw defeated, the Cooper gang stands in awe of the clockwork parts that are somehow still in mint condition.
Then Carmelita shows up and crushes the hate chip. And just like that, the parts deteriorate.
But you know how this fox gets down. She pulls out her gun and tells the Cooper gang to stick him up. Normally, Sly would find a way to get him and his friends out of there, but both of them are exhausted from the final boss fight. Not to mention that Bentley kinda can't walk. So Sly does a noble thing and turns himself in return for the freedom of his friends. The inspector accepts, and Sly gets cuffed and put in a helicopter.
The two finally ease the sexual tension between them by actually having a conversation.
They talk about everything, from past times he made her look stupid to their favorite type of music. Sly even compares the moment to a first date. But after noticing that they've been on a helicopter for a minute, Carmelita realizes that Sly's friends have the present for him. The pilot is gone.
And the moment she tries to secure Sly, he uncuffs himself and dips. She has to be letting this happen on purpose at this point.
Later, in Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, Sly finds and speaks to a Jim McSweeney. This guy used to be a part of Sly's father's gang.
McSweeney told Sly about the Cooper Vault, a secret vault holding the collection of most of the Cooper line's loot. However, since it is the Cooper Vault, only a Cooper can open it.
McSweeney gives him a map to Kane Island, the place where the vault is located. As the location already is the mad scientist Dr. M. He's turned the place into a fortress, and is trying to break into the Cooper Vault with brute force.
Sly realizes that a mission like this needs an army of world-class thieves, so he sets out to recruit the best people he can find. Obviously Bentley, who's now in a wheelchair, sticks with his boy. But the third member of the Cooper gang, Murray, left because of the Bentley accident that happened in Sly 2.
They start by re-recruiting Murray in Venice, who is currently going through something called Dreamtime training, under the teaching of someone only known as the Guru. However, because this is a video game, recruiting Murray requires Sly to do him a solid. Defeat the Venice crime lord Don Octavio and purify the place's black water.
So the team does a thing, and they defeat Octavio, and Carmelita does her thing and arrests a dude while Sly and the gang escape.
Murray is now back on the squad, but he feels guilty for never returning to the Guru. To help their friend, Sly and Billy agree to head to Australia so Murray can return to his sensei.
They get there, but as usual, they have a problem to deal with before actually meeting the Guru. The problem this time are the miners in the area who are ruining the Guru's home.
The gang does their thing again. Then after fighting Carmelita in Titan form because of some dark mask of power, they save the Guru's home, leave Carmelita looking stupid again, then the Guru joins their gang.
I mean, I don't know how the Guru robbing people will help him maintain inner peace, but okay.
Back at base, Belly tells the group that if they're gonna successfully ransack the Cooper Vault, they're gonna need an RC expert. So the Ninja Turtle hops on the dark web and talks to an RC expert named Penelope. He tries to recruit her, but she dubs him saying that she only works for the best.
But the mouse doesn't just leave them high and dry. She tells them that if they can prove that they're the best by beating her boss, the Black Baron, then she'll be a part of their heist.
So Sly just kinda gets a pilot license, and the gang rushes over to Holland to enter the Black Baron's flight competition. After doing a lot of cheating to even the odds, Sly beats the Baron at his own game, but finds that the Baron was actually Penelope this whole time. So you just... Lady, we have a heist to do. You can't be wasting our time like this.
With that being the Black Baron's first defeat, Penelope throws away the Baron guys and joins the Cooper gang.
But even with Penelope on the squad, they still need more power to get the Cooper Vault heist done. They specifically need a demolition expert.
So Bentley proposes that they recruit the Panic King, one of the bosses from the first Sly Cooper.
Sly's not trying to hear that because as a former member of the Fiendish Five, he played a part in the murder of Sly's parents.
But Bentley's like, bro, you trying to get your inheritance or nah?
So Sly gives in to Leonardo's wishes, and they head to China to recruit the Panic King.
But just like everyone else recruited in this game, they gotta do a quest first.
The Panic King has been on his meditative peaceful shit ever since the events of the first game, but his daughter got kidnapped by General Sao.
So the gang helps the Panic King and saves his daughter. And Carmelita gets involved, because that's how she is, and arrests General Sal for summoning the undead up in the streets of his village.
With that, Sly and the Panic King put their differences aside, and the Cooper gang gains another member.
With the team looking much better compared to how it was in the beginning, it looks like it's time to initiate the heist. But the ex-Claw gang member Dimitri calls in for a favor that Sly owes him.
Alright, so after Sly beat Dimitri back in Sly 2, he basically became harmless and just started picking up a bunch of jobs. One of those jobs being back at the flight competition in Holland a while ago. So since Sly and Dimitri have history, Dimitri helps Sly cheat during the competition in exchange for a favor in the future. Now Dimitri's calling for that favor.
So for the favor, Dimitri asks Sly and his gang to help him find his late grandfather's diving gear.
The poor guy had that and his treasure stolen back in the day, so Dimitri wants to do right by his grandfather by getting it back.
They find the grandfather's treasure along with his diving gear, but the pirate captain of the fleet captures Penelope and takes everything for himself.
Sly and the gang are like, well, can't have that. So they jump Lafouille and Penelope throws him into the sea with the sharks. And the rescue got Penelope all hot for Michelangelo.
So with Dimitri's grandfather's stuff recovered, Dimitri decides to join the squad. Now they're ready to tackle Cocaine Island and get to the Cooper Vault.
The gang makes it on the island and the plan goes off without a hitch. Sly gets to the vault, but Dr. M rolls up with a mutant primate and captures him.
As a primate begins to crush the thief, he reminisces on all his past ventures and regrets never telling Carmelita how he felt about her.
Then as if on cue, Carmelita comes in with her force and defeats the mutant. Sly gets taken in by the rest of the Cooper gang to get patched up.
Eventually, he confronts Dr. M again, and the doctor reveals that he used to be a part of his father's gang along with McSweeney. He was sick of playing second fiddle to Connor Cooper, which is why he went all evil and is going after the family fortune.
Sly smacks the doctor away and finally enters the vault with his bros Raph and Murray. Sly would like his friends to follow him deeper within the vault, but it's only meant for Coopers, so his friends stay back to guard the entrance.
While Sly navigates through the vault, Bentley starts ranting to Murray about how he thinks Sly treats them as sidekicks. But Murray, being the less insecure one, reassures the turtle by telling him that Sly is their best friend for life. They are all equal in his eyes. Then Dr. M breaks up the feel-good moment and eventually gets to Sly.
The Mandrill then continues to shit on the Cooper name, but Sly defends himself by stating that his team is his family. Just because he's a Cooper doesn't mean he's an ass to his teammates.
Then Carmelita shows up. Bro, what is going on? Everyone and their mom is running up into the Cooper vault.
Yo, facts. Sly must be low-key pissed.
So Carmelita starts talking about how she's gonna arrest everyone and blah blah blah. You know the deal. But then Dr. M shoots at the inspector.
Sly can't have that, so he jumps in the way and takes the hit. Carmelita's like, nobody touches my man, then shoots the shit out of Dr. M.
She goes to check on Sly, but looks like the hit gave him amnesia since he has no idea who he or Carmelita is.
So she uses the chance to lie and says that he's her partner, Constable Cooper. Carmelita, aren't you a cop? What are you doing lying to this person to keep him close to you? How does that follow the values of a cop? You must really want that Cooper dick if you're gonna lie to a man after he just saved you.
The vault begins to collapse, and Cooper and Carmelita escape while Bentley and Murray look everywhere for Sly.
Luckily, the two friends manage to escape too, but Sly remains missing. All they find is his cane.
With no one to lead the Cooper gang, each member goes off on their own. Murray joins the pro racing circuit, and Bentley and Penelope stick together to refurbish the Cooper vault and attempt to build a time machine.
Which smoothly brings us to Sly's final adventure, in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. So sometime after the Cooper vault job, Franklin finds out that Sly is alive and with Carmelita, and he winks right at him to prove that he's faking the amnesia.
Wait, Franklin? I understand you're giving Bentley all these random turtle character names, but Franklin?
Remember that kid show back in the day about that turtle? It had that bear and shit.
Oh yeah! That shit was boring as hell!
Right? So even more time goes by after Donatello find out about what Sly has been up to. Sly's pretty much retired and he's built a life with Carmelita.
My man is dead faking amnesia for some box.
Since the Cooper vault job, Squirtle and Penelope built a life for themselves too. They built a new lab and started doing research on the Thievius Raccoonus.
But one day, Bentley noticed that Penelope just vanished, along with some content from the Thievius Raccoonus.
So Bentley finds Murray, then finds Sly and tells him about the missing content. Sly can't have someone messing with his book, so he sneaks away from his woman and joins Murray and Bentley, thus reforming the Cooper gang.
Bentley explains that someone is literally running around the timeline erasing Cooper history. Luckily, he built a time machine for just such an occasion.
However, to get to a certain time, they need an artifact from that timeline. So before they embark on their quest to screw up the time-space continuum, they need to ransack a museum.
Before the job, they hire Dimitri again to keep a watchful eye on the book while they're gone. Then the team does their thing flawlessly, until Sly gets caught by his ex-girlfriend Carmelita. Man, for a master thief, you really suck at not getting caught, Sly.
Carmelita is tight, so Sly gives him the usual snarky remark and dips on her. He'll be back, don't worry.
With the Japanese artifact in hand, they blast through time and land on their first stop, in feudal Japan.
There they'd find Sly's ancestor Ryochi, the famous ninja and inventor of sushi. However, when they arrive, they find out that the dictator El Jefe has imprisoned the ninja for selling bad sushi. How the hell does the creator of sushi sell bad sushi?
Sly breaks his ninja ancestor out of prison. Then the ninja tells him about how El Jefe is running the area now. So the Cooper gang, with the help of Ryochi, slowly free the village from El Jefe's grasp.
While the gang takes the village back, El Jefe makes his appearance and steals Ryochi's cane. Sly confronts the tiger to get it back, but when he defeats him, a bunch of masked rat troopers show up and get the jump on him.
He then watches these troopers take Ryochi's cane and enter a blimp with a shadowy figure watching him. Then the blimp vanishes.
But before it vanished, one of the troopers dropped the badge that Sly and his gang used to travel to their next destination, the Wild West.
There they'd find Tennessee Kid Cooper, But unfortunately, he was thrown in prison by the sheriff of this place, Toothpick.
So Sly gets into prison and frees Tennessee Kid. Then at the hideout, Tennessee explains what went down before they got here. He was about to pull off a bank heist, one that was supposed to go down in Cooper history as legendary, but he got caught before he had the chance to rob the place.
Then when he was sent to jail, the robbery still happened, and he was charged for it even though he was in jail. What kind of crooked cop shit?
The person responsible for this? Toothpick, who just like El Jefe, is actually from the present. And it turns out that Toothpick captured Carmelita, who somehow found her way in the past. Not even time travel can stop this lady from hunting Sly.
Luckily, Tennessee Kid saves a crazy ass fox. Then Sly tries to play nice, but Carmelita ain't having it.
Toothpick uses the distraction to arrest Sly and the rest of his gang and take their van, so Carmelita and Tennessee team up to save them.
Once they break the gang out, Sly tries to explain himself once again, but Carmelita is still butthurt and just wants to get back to the present.
Apparently she was sent back to the past by Cyril the Paradox, someone that Carmelita ran into while working on a case, and the shadowy figure that we saw back in feudal Japan. So right now, she's sick of time travel, sick of Sly, and refuses to believe his explanation. But she needs the gang's van to travel back to the present, so she teams up with them anyway. Together they get the van back and put an end to Toothpick. They revel in their W for a bit, then notice that they're heading straight for a cliff.
They drive off the cliff, but luckily Bentley throws Murray's necklace into the time machine, so it blasts him off into an unknown time and place.
Turns out they got sent back to 10,000 BC Australia, and because of the crash, the time machine is too damaged to work, so Carmelita just kinda leaves in frustration.
I mean, I get it, you're mad, but where the hell are you gonna go?
While searching the area, Sly finds a random bear named Grizz, who also happens to be from the present.
Then they just so happen to find the first Cooper to exist. He only speaks gibberish though, so Sly calls him Bob.
Bob explains in his own way that Grizz just kinda came here and started snatching his food. Sly can't have someone robbing the first Cooper, so they agree to help him do away with the bear.
With the help of Carmelita, who's actually spent time to think about the Sly situation and is now less pissed, they get to the bear's base. Then Murray beats dog shit out of him.
Then after the raid, Carmelita decides to stick with him since that's her best bet of getting back home. Then thanks to pure ex machina luck, they find out from Dimitri that Grizz's crown can take them to their next destination in 14th century England. So they throw the crown into their now fixed time machine and head to England to find Sir Gallet, Cooper's ancestor from this time.
Just like the last few places they visited, shit ain't right here either. Sir Gallet has been reduced to a jester, and mecha wolves are walking around like they live here.
Cooper does his thing and saves the dramatic as hell Sir Gallet. Then Gallet tells them about a mysterious dark knight who appeared not so long ago with his army of mecha wolves. Sir Gallet tried to fight off the army in the night, but the power of the future was too much for him, which led to him getting defeated and reduced to a jester.
So with their objective obvious, the gang work on taking on the Black Knight.
After spying on him, they find out that the Black Knight is actually Penelope, Bentley's girlfriend Penelope. Damn, you see? You can't be trusting these rats, son.
She's a mouse, dumbass.
Close enough.
Apparently, Penelope thought Bentley was holding himself back by following Sly. So she stole Bentley's time machine plans and built Cyril Paradox's time traveling blimp.
Bentley is shook by this new info and crawls into his shell out of depression. So Sly and the gang continue the mission without him, but they vow to take down the bitch-ass mouse for their friend.
They confront the ex-Cooper gang member, but she's too much of a bitch to take Sly on with the ones and twos, so she hops into a giant robot.
Sly and the squad take it down, but the debris from the robot pins Sly down. Luckily, Bentley saves him in his own mech suit and beats his ex-girlfriend.
Afterwards, Dimitri contacts and directs them to their next destination in Arabia to help Salim al-Kupar, another one of Sly's ancestors and a charter member from the 40 Thieves. Yes, those 40 Thieves. Using a coin that Carmelita took as evidence from a museum in the present, they travel to their next stop.
When they arrive, they find out the 40 Thieves were tired, and al-Kupar just up and vanished.
They find an old al-Kupar and explains that him and the last of the 40 Thieves were planning to rob this new lady who appeared in Arabia named Miss Decibel.
But when they tried, she got the jump on them and captured al-Kupar's partners. The Raccoon has been trying to find a way to save them ever since, so their task this time is to stop Miss Decibel.
Sly eventually catches Le Paradox and Miss Decibel going on about their plans. The elephant is using her hypnotic powers to force the thieves that she captured to forge historic documents. Cyril's plan is to have these documents forged so he can rewrite history and give himself a royal lineage in the present.
The Cooper gang can't have Le Paradox screwing with the time-space continuum on this scale, so they continue their efforts and find Cyril's time-traveling blimp.
Le Paradox shows up, talks his shit, then reveals that he stole Salim's cane.
Then the thief throws Miss Decibel at them to hold him off as he escapes. They beat the elephant and Cyril reveals that he also has Carmelita in his custody. How the hell did she get captured?
Le Paradox then escapes with not only Carmelita and al-Kupar's cane, but all the canes of Sly's ancestors that the gang met over their adventures through time.
The gang feels hella defeated right now, but they ain't got time for that because Dimitri hits them up telling them to rush to the present. Shit is going down.
They get to the present and spot Le Paradox's face everywhere. It's like he runs the place now.
Bentley pulls up the skunk's backstory, and they find out that Cyril comes from a line of thieves very similar to the Coopers. Le Paradox's father had planned to ruin Connor Cooper's legendary diamond heist by stealing the diamond himself and framing it on the raccoon. But Connor Cooper is too quick for the bullshit, so Le Paradox failed and got arrested, leaving Cyril alone to learn the crime business by himself. This led to the skunk getting in prison after a bunch of failed robberies. Then after he got out, he created a criminal syndicate thanks to the links he made in jail.
And he used this whole art collection thing as a front for his criminal activities.
Now it looks like Le Paradox blames the Cooper family for all his misfortunes, and he wants to prove that the Le Paradoxes are the better line of thieves, even though his father is the one who fucked up and got himself caught.
If these villains just took the time to see their reasons for being evil are usually stupid, shit like this wouldn't happen.
Sly infiltrates the blimp and finds Carmelita, but it's a setup. The skunk beats him once again and traps him in the fox. The Paradox reveals his time tunnel, a device meant to send Sly and Carmelita on a never-ending trip bouncing through the time-space continuum, so the former couple kinda needs to dip.
Bentley and Murray then pull a clutch move and recruit all the Cooper ancestors that they met while traveling through time.
Each of the Coopers find their cane, and Tennessee Kid frees Sly and Carmelita before he's sent back to his time. Now free, Sly tells Carmelita and the rest of the gang to leave the blimp without him, as the time tunnel tears it apart.
Then Sly engages the Paradox in a final fight to decide which line of thieves is better. Sly beats the bitch-ass skunk, but he falls for the whole "help me, I'm dying" trick. So the Paradox uses the chance to snatch Sly's paraglider. Now Sly's on a blimp that has fallen from the sky with no way to get off safely.
Then the Paradox jumps off with Sly's glider, but Karma shows up in the shape of a plane and smacks him off the sky. Well, at least he's dead.
Well, no, he's not. He actually survived the fall thanks to landing in water. He got arrested though. Some time goes by after that night. The Thievius Raccoonus is back to normal, but Sly is nowhere to be found.
The disappearance of Sly once again led his friends to pursue their own ventures. Murray got into pro wrestling, Carmelita threw herself into her work, but is still trying to find her favorite criminal, and Bentley, adamant as ever, is using all of his resources to also look for Sly.
Well, fortunately for the former Cooper gang and Carmelita, Sly's alive, but he's stuck in Egypt at an unknown time period. And that is where Sly's story ends, with him stuck in Egypt with no hope of getting back home. That's a really crappy ending.
Yeah, it is. And this would be the part where we talk about the Sly Cooper movie that was supposed to come out back in 2016, but it never did. Well, regardless of the canceled movie and the cliffhanger ending, Sly's story was pretty good. It got wild and nonsensical at times, but this series did start back in 2002, so what did you expect? Funny enough, at one point, the creators of Darksiders were working on a Sly Cooper game for the PSP. Not much is known about it because it was canceled during early development, but based on this dope ass fucking concept art, it looks like it was supposed to be the original Thieves in Time. But unfortunately, that game never came to be. And I highly doubt we're gonna get a Sly Cooper game in the future, if at all. Well, at least we can always sit back and remember Sly for who he was. And hey, if you disagree with me, let me know if you think a new Sly game is in the works, or maybe a remake. That being said, head screen. Yo fam, thank you guys so much for watching this new episode of Honest Gaming History about Sly Cooper. I appreciate it. Once again, thank you for Rich for sponsoring this video. Check out the stuff. My code is in the description below. And yeah, use it. Tell me if you like it. If you're new to the video, don't forget to like, share with other people who like Sly Cooper or who like Sucker Punch games in general, and comment who else you want to see me cover in Honest Gaming History in the future. I'm thinking because of Aftermath coming out, I'm just gonna drop a whole bunch of Mortal Kombat characters, son. Like, I'm thinking like after that comes out, I'm just gonna get into doing like the remastered version of Scorpion, the remastered version of Sub-Zero, the remastered version of Raiden. Like, I don't think, unless Liu Kang actually has some actual story in here, I'm not gonna redo Liu Kang's story because that is still pretty recent. But yeah, I'm gonna start just rolling out a bunch of Mortal Kombat characters. Let me know if you like that in the comments below. I'm planning on doing that. If you don't want me to do that, let me know as well. But yeah, I'm thinking about a whole bunch of Mortal Kombat characters, and if most of you like it, then that's what we gonna do. It's gonna be lit. If you want to see more of me, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button, because if you do not, you will never be updated on when I post a new video. And I'm sure if you subscribe, you want to see when I post new videos. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Shout out to Trey, Gil Thomas, JReaper08, and all my other dope pages who help support the channel with their very kind donations. And if you also want to support the channel with your kind donations, go to my Patreon page in the description below. There's only one tier, just $1, and you can help support the channel and help me keep on doing this shit for as long as possible. But as you know, if you cannot do that, sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff still helps out. Why did I say stuff like that? It sounded weird. So with that being said, I am off this. So as usual, be easy, stay lit, take care, stay the fuck inside unless you have to go outside. And if you have to go outside, wear your freaking mask and you can do whatever the fuck you put your mind to. All it takes is practice and time. Take care, people.